I'm Vin.
I'm Sori. I'm Harry.
Not mentioning any. It's a special Patreon pick. If you're watching this video, it's because you're on Patreon.
It may or may not get released to the rest of the folks.
No, probably not. Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, so we did Sweet Home Alabama, in which he referenced Neil Young.
Yeah.
And we did some research, and we found the song that Neil Young did against the South.
So we were curious.
So we were curious. So here is the song that inspired the diss record to Sweet Home Alabama. Let's go.
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 Change gonna
It's obvious. Sweet Home Alabama is racist as fuck. Wow.
Why does that make it obvious to you?
Because of what he was saying. And then that's a song that you're going to say was a sin?
Well, of course, they didn't address anything in Sweet Home Alabama that this song was bringing up at all.
Well, they brought up the governor.
They brought up the governor.
So
right.
they did.
Right, they did address
They basically said,
fuck you,
yeah,
we love the governor.
We don't care about all that.
Yeah, I don't care about
Alabama's great.
the Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. See, these should be put out as a package deal, man.
Yeah, they were.
No, I mean to our constituency.
You want to put it as a package deal?
I mean, how could we not? Back to back these songs. Anyway, we'll talk about that offline. That's for us to do. For you to figure out what we're doing. Anyway, this is crazy. Why is he saying Southern man better keep your head? Like, in other words, you're losing your friggin' mind the way you're treating these
You
people.
gotta see reality, I guess, is the point. This is the 70s, I guess. 74, 73, 70. Shit, it took him 4 years to respond. Usually in a battle rap, you can't take 4 years to respond. Remy Ma did that thing against Nicki Minaj. 3 days later, people were like, yo,
Right.
Nicki,
Are you
let's
gonna
go.
put it out, or? Yeah. I thought it was like, you're losing your mind. Like, you better
Yeah.
keep your head. You're losing your mind with the way that things are going.
Yeah, things are
And then
going
he
to change.
says,
Southern
change gonna come at last. Now your crosses are burning fast, Southern man. I thought that was a double.
Why?
Well, crosses are burning because the KKK would burn the crosses.
Right.
So they're burning fast, as in like it's
You're
going
run-
away.
you're
But at
running
the
out
same
of-
time,
Yeah.
you're running out of what?
To me, it just seems like you're running out of people you're running out of the fodder to be able to burn your crosses because time is changing.
And if he just said, don't forget what the good book said. So
Right.
it's almost to me like, because there's a cross in the good book.
Right.
And like you're burning, like look at what you're doing.
Right.
Like
You're burning the symbol
of grace that we have, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, wow.
yeah.
I saw cotton and I saw black, tall white mansions and little shacks. Southern man, when will you pay them back? That part was like, and then obviously when it goes on in the next part, I heard screaming and bullwhips cracking. How long? Like, this is like a deep, the way that they put the music in it, you didn't know it was going that deep, you know? Like, but that
Yeah.
like sometimes like they, you know, like even their response was like, oh, the governor's true. Like, they're not like, but this is like putting it out, that's in black and white, you know, like.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
cotton, I saw black, I saw tall white mansions and little shacks.
It's very
And-
interesting commentary about America that Sweet Home Alabama became a giant hit and this song is relatively unknown.
I know.
Very interesting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because this is aside from the commentary, I like this. I like the song. I like the vocal style and
Yeah.
all that jazz.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't as catchy as Sweet Home Alabama,
No,
in my opinion.
not even close.
But
Not
I
even
did
close,
like it
but
too.
It was still good in its
Yeah.
own way. But it's strange to me because I was like, well, all of America's economy benefited from slavery. So if he's talking about reparations, how is he putting it only on the backs of the Southerners?
Yeah.
You know, but this is the whole thing of like collectivism versus individualism.
Uh-huh.
Whereas like if you're, you know, here's my general premise. If you benefited from the atrocities that was committed by your direct descendant, then you would then have to take part in the reciprocity to make that right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, so why is it only the Southern man who has to pay for it? I mean, if you're going to go, because he's talking about reparations, when are you going to pay them back? Well, the entire American economy was floated on the backs of free labor. It wasn't just the South.
Yeah.
So why is it only on the Southern man to do that? Like you just have to be consistent and just say across the board we're gonna actually do the 40 acres and a mule thing. That was the thing. You're gonna, you know, free the slave and every man gets 40 acres and a mule and now you can go and, you know, build your life. Well, that never happened. You know. So I get the
And that
song.
would be so little.
Well, it would have been enough. It would have been a lot more than what we had.
Oh, I know, but I mean, if you had to pay for all that labor, it probably would have accumulated to more than that, I would assume.
What? 40? Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
what I'm saying. I'm saying it's so little and they didn't pull through with it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the North is letting themselves off the hook because they were like rallying to set everybody free.
Stop it. The North wasn't rallying.
Well, that's what I heard. Like, I heard that, I know, but I heard it was Lincoln too, and then
the
it wasn't
North,
like I thought it was.
It wasn't as simple as that.
I always thought that it was that the North would have felt the same way that the South did, that the South has a longer growing season, and so, like,
well, I mean,
the benefits from slavery in the South are harder to get.
What's the guy I used to listen to? Sproul. He called it the Battle of Northern Aggression.
Yeah.
That's what he called the Civil War. I think was it the 18th Amendment?
I don't understand what are you saying?
Well,
Why is that
characterizing it as, instead of calling it the Civil War, he's calling it Northern Aggression, which was basically, hey, everything was fine in the South until these fucking Northerners came in with their aggression.
Oh, I see.
And that was like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, the people in the South, they're still salty about it.
Uh-huh.
You remember that song? I don't care what the people say. The South gonna rise again. Remember that song your pop
He's
used to
talking to
sing?
his brother again. So.
Yeah, why was he singing? What the hell was he singing that song? What's good? Why were you singing that song?
What did he say? I
don't care what the people say. The South gonna rise again. Maybe he was mocking them. Who knows? I like this one. What was the line?
Down here?
Lily Bell, your hair is golden brown. I've seen your black man coming round. Swear by God, I'm gonna cut him down. No, you're not. How is it? Petty as hell, huh? Petty, come see me, Billy Joel. All right. That wasn't right. I shouldn't have done that.
Well, I liked it.
Christ, like, don't fuck with us, though. Okay. Yeah, these lyrics are kind of, yeah.
Well, I'm saying I didn't expect them to be that black and white with it. I think that they could have gone a lot more places with the lyrics. I think that they could have said a lot more things.
It's interesting to me that this was this offensive to white people.
I know, because it's a damn
Why
truth.
is it so offensive? It's the truth.
I know.
Why
And why did he specifically think he was talking about Alabama? Am I missing something? You know what I mean? Like, I thought he was speaking out against Alabama.
He said Southern man. He said Southern man. Maybe they're from Alabama. I mean, but again, this to me, and this is why I talk about collectivism versus individualism. So even though we actively speak out against abortion, I still say that we are responsible for abortion because America is our nation.
Yeah.
And so, so long as I'm part of a nation that takes part in it and I identify myself with these people as my people, then I'm going to say we. I'm not going to separate myself from that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, but most Americans are generally, they go back and forth between individualism and collectivism. It's like I said, like when 4th of July comes around, they talk about the founding fathers, and they talk about, you listen to Fox News and they say this is what the founding fathers wanted in the Constitution.
Yeah.
And so from that lineage, they understand that the reason they're here is because of the actions, the heroism of their fathers.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the sins of their fathers, they really believe that they have nothing to do with it. It's this really strange thing where it's like
strange.
4th of July runs around and they're all, you know, forefathers this, but then you bring this shit up and they'll, hey, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is not constitutional. I guess we should say, well, you weren't there, you know, so like, hello.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But
I do.
most people don't think that stuff through.
No.
It's the benefits, they're collectivists, and then when it's the reciprocity, they're individualists.
Yeah.
Well, I never owned a slave.
Right.
Okay. But at the same...
I remember feeling like that, and I remember it making complete sense.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't a slave.
Right.
I never owned a slave. What's the problem? I
Right.
felt like you guys were just holding on to stuff and just wanting to, like, you know, like people will say, oh, the black card. Like, I felt like that was a thing. Like, you guys just wanted to bring that up so that way you guys could manipulate the white people that don't want to be racist. So then, and I have seen people do that. You know that girl. She would, like
Well,
if you didn't want her to do something, like, she, you know, let's just say she was
Oh no! I mean, Jesse
a
Jackson.
terrible cook, and she wants to cook for the benefit you have going on. No. Oh, that's because I'm black. Well, no, it's just you're not a good cook.
Yeah, she was a terrible.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are people that do that, and so then it kind of makes you feel like that's what's happening all around. Not realizing that I didn't know that black schools were given way less than other white schools. I didn't know that that the very reason that you have to have like those spots for like you gotta hire X amount of black people, X amount of women, stuff like that is because there's an obvious the scale is tipped very strongly on the side of white males, and so then they have to say, "Oh, okay," you know.
Yeah.
So I do.
Yeah, but did you were you an individualist when it came to the founding fathers, or were you proud of the founding fathers, the Constitution and Declaration of Independence and all that?
I was proud of my founding fathers because.
Did you call them your founding fathers?
I don't know if I went that far.
Did you use the term founding fathers?
Probably not.
But you were proud of them.
Well, I was proud. I wouldn't say I was proud of my founding fathers. I was more just proud of America because what I understood about what happened was different than how it really happened. I thought the reason that we rebelled against Britain and stuff like that was because of religious freedom. Like I didn't know really. I remember they talking about taxes a little bit, but I didn't know that taxes was like a primary driver for why so many people got killed. Like I just thought that we were like we want religious freedom, and they wanted people to look around and like discover and stuff, and so we went. I didn't realize like everything went as.
But even under those pretenses, you had a connection with those people. Like you realized that if they didn't do that, you wouldn't be here. As far as living in a free country.
And like, you know, all men are created equal and stuff like that. Like I always felt like, yes, proud of them for that. Again, not realizing that those people that wrote that
forget that. But my point was, you still connected yourself. You understood that the benefits that you were receiving came from the actions of those people. So you were a collectivist in that sense, that you were a collective of.
No, I get it.
You were in this lineage. So, but then when it came to slavery, you're like, hey, I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So this is the same principle.
No, I get it.
Yeah, it's just weird to me. It's a very, very convenient view of the world. I think
that's because, well, like when I look at it, I'm like, well, I would do what they were doing. Like I think setting up a constitution and like getting religious freedom and like I can relate with that. Well, I can't relate with owning a slave. I never wanted to.
You didn't think you would have owned a slave back then?
No, I didn't think so. I didn't. I mean, probably looking at it, like I guess we probably would have. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like that was something. It always like upset me so much and made me so. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at it from this side. It would be convenient. I see the convenience of it. You know what I mean? When Zoe comes in and gives me all my rubs, I think to myself, boy, these people had all this stuff for free. I'm paying her hand over fist. Come give me a massage. Come get.
There's this thing about voter registration.
Yeah.
That shout out to Sean King. You shouldn't have co-signed Antifa, but there's this voter registration thing because there's this big thing about voter purges right now where the Supreme Court just passed this thing and makes it like basically more difficult for Native Americans and all this stuff to vote in Idaho or whatever.
Oh.
And which benefits Republicans.
Of course.
And so they did this thing about like, this is how to properly vote or whatever. And so it was all these kids. It was these kids that were running everything. So so the first gets this little white girl and she's like, if you have your ID, da-da-da. And sure enough, the white girl has her ID and she goes in. And then the next example is like, if you don't have your ID, sure enough, it's a black girl. The black girl's the one without her ID. And anyway.
Is that recent?
Oh yeah. It was like 2 days ago.
How are we still doing these things?
Well, I just think it's so embedded in the mindset that they don't know what's happened. They don't know that they're doing it. They don't know that it's. This is what I'm talking about. Like that's what that mindset does. You know. This song just seemed very like SJW-ish to me though. Like, who is he? I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he's an American or not.
Yeah,
maybe the guy's not even American. But like,
but again, then why?
If you're not from the South, or even if you're not from America, I gotta Google this guy. Who is he? Neil Young? Is that?
I thought you were gonna say I gotta go. I'm like, go where? See you. It wouldn't have surprised me. Where are you going?
I just need to know. Like, he's Canadian.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
That
well,
to
that
me,
makes
that's
sense.
offensive to me.
Why?
Like, who are you to go from another country to come to America and tell us about what we here you come?
They didn't have slavery?
Here you come from on high, coming
Yeah.
down from fucking Olympus to tell the Southerner that they're bad, and then you're gonna float back up onto your glory cloud.
I don't have a problem with it.
I wasn't really feeling that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wasn't feeling that at all.
But, you know, you used to call me Judjo. So, I have no problem with the guy
still
doing
call
that.
you
So, you never do. When do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like really cheap. Like it was like a cheap shot to me. It felt very SJW to me.
Oh, well.
Like, are you serious? Like, you don't look how the Canadians treated the fucking Native Americans. Remember we interviewed that guy with the scalping or whatever, and they were the ones that invented scalping, not the.
Oh, that's right.
You don't really like. Do a song about that shit. Don't fucking come over here and talk shit about the Southern. Get the fuck out of it. Go back to Canada. No, I'm serious. Like, maybe he's got songs about how terrible they were to the Indians. I just didn't like the feel of it. If he was Southern, then I'd be like, okay.
I see what you're saying.
But, like, it's just this very, like, here I am. We're probably going to release this and forget about Patreon.
Told
like,
you.
He just floats down, here I am, and, you know, I'm going to tell you guys about how terrible you are, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
When you fucking benefited from all the evil shit your fathers did to the Native Americans.
Yeah,
so who
you
are
should have added that in.
Like, this is what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama, like, you couldn't come up with a better diss than that? There's a lot of shit you could have said about him. I could have wrote that for you. I wouldn't have.
You can't do a diss for them.
But it's just like, I don't like, because you know, at the end of the day, I'm an American.
Yeah.
So if a foreign person comes in and disses my country, like, even if it's a segment of my
No,
country.
he's not dissing your country. He's
Yeah, he
dissing
is.
what they're doing.
He's still dissing, they're still part of our country.
Yeah.
It's still our country. So there's some foreigner come in, like, we've got our own internal dialogue and criticism that we can offer. We don't need a fucking Canadian come in. No disrespect to Canada. But, like, I wouldn't come in and make a song about Canada or Yugoslavia and you know.
Oh, I would. I'd write something about the Nazis and how effed up they were. I have a problem about that.
That's
No way.
inconsistent. I don't have a problem with people talking shit about Nazis.
Please.
Yeah, but that was like a unique thing in history.
I feel like
They committed the same species of atrocity in Canada to those native people.
yeah, I feel like
Those are the First Nations
that-
people. Like, I want to, you know, address you guys properly.
I feel like that if this was, you remember the comfort women, that's what they were called, the comfort women, they were like
Yeah.
the Chinese women, horrible things happened to them.
Yeah.
Like if somebody from outside of there was looking in and judging that and saying that that was terrible and stuff like that, I don't think you'd have a problem with that.
Well,
I
they had
feel
a
like maybe
whole
you have a
brothel.
problem. I feel like
If they came from a nation that had a whole brothel of women, yes, I would.
yeah, but they themselves
This guy
didn't.
comes from a nation that just fucked up a whole bunch of native people. They did the same shit. So that's what I'm saying.
So
It's
you're
like,
saying you should have written
yeah, you don't have enough music to talk shit about your own country. You're gonna come to my country and start talking shit? Are you serious?
Oh, wow, he's got some American pride. That's good.
No, I love me some America.
You do.
I do.
I mean,
I get it. I like all the words. It just sounded very SJW to me. It sounded like a
maybe
cheap
you don't
shot.
like that. Like maybe you don't like a Canadian coming in to your defense.
Well, I mean, what has he done? Well, I mean, I don't know this guy. Maybe he's done stuff for black people. I don't know. But he's certainly, he's certainly no Farrakhan, that's for sure.
No,
But-
this is so hilarious. I never expected this reaction.
Well, it's strange to me. Like, you're not even from here, bruh. Like, make a song about how what you guys did to the natives. Because that's terrible. Remember that interview we did and how wrecked those people still are to this day.
Oh yeah.
With that guy.
Yeah.
And they're all tore up over there. Then you're gonna come here and act like you know. Do a song called Canadian Man. I'm gonna write a song called Canadian Man. Northern Man is what I'll call you. No, I just tasted it. It just tasted. It had a very SJW.
So in that sense, the Southern man is all of us, right? Because we're south of them.
It's not the Canada. No, yeah, I think he's specifically talking about that region of America. And of course, I've got no love lost for those people. Slave owning, whatever. Fuck them.
You
Like,
what?
I don't
You
like
got no
those.
love what?
It's a phrase.
Yeah, what did you say?
Love loss. I don't.
Love
like,
loss?
I don't like them. But beyond that, we're Americans. And here you are saying all this crazy shit about my country.
Yeah,
my guy.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Did this sound like SJWE to you?
Well, once you said it, then yeah, I heard the hooves and the thing that you do.
Yeah, the white man. I'm on the way! Don't worry, Negro! I'm coming to help you!
Oh my gosh!
Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. But I get the song, I like it.
So what are you giving this?
See, the thing is, I don't like any one of these dudes right now. I don't like the Lynyrd Skynyrd people. I don't like them, and I don't like this song. There's just too much context to me. I don't like the song. It's a 9 for me. It's not as catchy as Sweet.
No, it's not as catchy. It can't be a 10.
It's an important song, but it's a 9.
It's yeah.
Lynyrd Skynyrd won this battle. USA.
I think I would have to go with an 8.9 because I don't even think it was quite a 9 because the lyrics, they didn't really seem to. Like, I think we needed something else in there. But anyway. Oh my word, I'm so fascinated by your reaction.
We have Neil Young, we have a Patreon account. I'm black. I didn't get any reparations. Neil Young, Vin and Sori at Patreon.
Yep.
You can donate the equivalent if we were to do
40
inflation.
acres and
40 acres and a mule. I'll take 40 acres and a Chevy. You can donate the equivalent of that, I'm sure, because you care about the black struggle so much, my guy. Help a brother out. You're in Canada, we're in Maine. Maybe we can even chill, and then everything will be right.
Oh. Ta-da!
Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. Talking shit about it.